Hi, I'm Tom Crosshill from the dance studio CosaBuena in Riga, Latvia. There's been a lot of discussion online recently about Cuban rumba and the muelleo, the kind of springy action in the knees. Some people say you can dance rumba without it, which is true, you can. Other people say it's incorrect to use muelleo and rumba, like it should never be used, which is simply false, not true at all. But I understand how this assumption can come to be. If you look at how many tourists dance rumba and how amateurs dance and how they are taught, they tend to do something like this, which is like this big, lumpy, kind of dancing bear kind of movement, which is really not pleasant to look at. And yeah, that's not attractive, and nobody who's good does that. But there is a place for muelleo and rumba, and it's a very important place historically, if you fix a few problems. You have to fix two problems principally. One is the big amplitude, which is too big. And the second one is the cadence of the movement. So you can't have this sudden, sharp drop. It has to be smoother. I'm going to talk about how to use this in yambu, then how to use it in guaguanco, and then what are the alternatives, like when do I dance without the muelleo. So let's look at yambu. Yambu is this una música cadenciosa, this kind of slow, gentle music, which requires kind of a smooth, gentle way of dancing to fit, which can have sharp accents in some moment, but for the most part, you want to have this kind of smooth, flowing, gentle feeling, the idea being that it's old people dancing it and really enjoying themselves. For that reason, it lends itself really well to using a soft, smooth kind of muelleo. What I do is I keep it small, and I keep it continually, like completely continuous, without any breaks or sharp motions, except when it comes time to make an accent. So if I'm doing the basic step, one of the basic steps, you might do an accent at some moment. You might do some element which of course doesn't require muelleo, but then you would start off again and have this continuous, unbroken, like kind of movement, smooth muelleo, which fits really well with continuous, unbroken, smooth music. So what I just showed you is my way of dancing yambu, which is not to say that it's the only way. You can dance without the muelleo as well. I'm going to also upload some videos to YouTube along with this one, which show Cubans and professional dancers dancing yambu with exactly this kind of soft cadence that I'm talking about. What I'm saying is there's no right way. You don't have to like just do one and discard everything else. You can pick whatever fits your style best. Now, if you want to translate the same style to guaguanco, which is faster, you want to keep the same smooth motion, but you want to make it really, really small. If you keep it at the same amplitude as in yambu, it's still going to look kind of ugly. So if you do, it looks like you're some kind of bouncing sack of potatoes, which is not ideal. At the same time, I still like to keep that bounce there. Just make it really small. It adds a flexibility and kind of folkloric feeling to the dance also. So when I dance guaguanco, it would be more like, the bounce is so small, it's almost imperceptible. And of course, then you start to add a lot more of it. All the accents that go with guaguanco and all the upper body motion, and it can, it can be really easy to miss the muelleo because it's really small here, while up here you're doing all these big things, but it's still there. Now you could, like some people suggest, not do the muelleo and just push off the ground and use that to move your body, which would look more like this. This can also look fine, and it almost looks indistinguishable. Almost. You don't have the same little bounce. If you're putting rumba in salsa, it can almost look better, because in salsa or in casino, we want to keep a really smooth kind of way of stepping that doesn't bounce up and down. So in the middle of a salsa, I might not do any muelleo at all. But if I want a more traditional rumba, I will put in a bit of muelleo, even if it's barely perceptible. Now, when the music gets really fast, it's hard to do even the small one, because then you start to look nervous, like you have a problem. So my solution in those cases is to transition, to use, first of all, the guagua. Many people say you can't dance guaguanco without using the guagua, which is this motion. When I do the guagua, I don't do the muelleo. If you start doing this, it doesn't look that great. Same for the cachan, for the transfer step, this one. In slower guaguanco, you can put a bit of muelleo in there, but generally, you can also do it without muelleo and it looks just fine, especially in faster music. But if the guaguanco is not super fast, I prefer to keep a little bit of muelleo in there. Again, just my style, and again, I will upload a video of people doing this in Cuba, just to show that it's another way that people use. It's not, oh, here's the right way, and we should all dance like this, and everything else is wrong. With folkloric dance, it doesn't work like that. Folkloric dance is a dance of the people, with different, what's called focos folclóricos, like focal points of folklore across Cuba, for example. Each foco folclórico has its own style, its own traditions, different ways of dancing. People who grow up in different parts of Cuba, in different neighborhoods, dance in different ways. To come in and say, oh, my way is correct and everything else is wrong, is just very misguided. Now, to finish this off, if you do want to use the muelleo and learn to use it right, there's a few things you should keep in mind. First thing, for any Afro-Cuban dance, and rumba in particular, you cannot have your legs straight, you will have your legs bent, you will always be bent forward, but some people say hunched. Bad idea. Don't be hunched, that looks ugly. You want to be relatively straight, not like stiff straight, but relatively straight, but inclined forward with the whole torso, so that your weight is over the ball of the foot. Like this is kind of where you want to be at. Now, as you start to do the muelleo, a lot of people do this. This influence comes from Cuban folk dancing, from bailes campesinos. In those dances, it's okay. In rumba, it's not okay. It doesn't look good. And generally, the more experienced dancers will not do this motion. You want it to go up and down, up and down. This is true for arara, for palo, for yoruba, for rumba, for most of the major Afro-Cuban dances. It's not this, it's this. And then there's the things I've been saying. Don't make it big, and don't make it sharp. I work on it by playing yambu and trying to make it really smooth and continuous. Really trying to enjoy the music, be exactly on top of the music, not early, not late, and just make that dance one smooth continuum until the moment when you do an accent. That's it from me. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or comments or would like to argue or discuss, why don't you come to salsaforums.com. I am user TSC on the forums, and I'd be happy to hear from you.